Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins All World, where we uncover the stories behind some of the rarest and most valuable coins in circulation. If you're passionate about collecting, or just love learning about treasures from the past, you've come to the right place. Today, we've got an absolutely fascinating topic that's sure to get your heart racing. We're diving deep into a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, a 2008 United States 1 dime. But this little dime has a secret that could make it worth more than most people would ever guess. You won't want to miss out on discovering why this 1 dime is causing a buzz in the world of numismatics. Stick around until the end to find out just how much it could be worth. Let's rewind a bit and talk about the 2008 United States dime. On the surface, this coin looks just like any other dime that you might find in your pocket or jar of spare change. It has a familiar design, a profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who has graced the obverse side of the dime since 1946. On the reverse side, we see a simple yet elegant image of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of freedom, peace, and strength. All in all, the 2008 dime is a part of the regular series of U.S. currency issued during that year, and in theory, it's worth just 10 cents, but as with many coins, there's a twist in the story. Not all dimes from 2008 are created equal, and a small, rare subset of them could make you a lot richer than you might think. Now, let's talk about what makes the 2008 dimes so special. The 2008 dimes produced by the U.S. Mint were part of the regular circulation. However, a very small number of these dimes were actually struck with a minting error, a rare occurrence that can turn an otherwise normal coin into something very valuable. What makes these 2008 dimes so unique is a subtle but highly significant error that occurred during the minting process. Some dimes were struck with double dies or misaligned dies, which caused the image on the coin to be slightly off-center or to have a blurred, doubled appearance. This happens when the coin is struck more than once, or when the dies that stamp the coin are not properly aligned. The double die error is especially interesting. For these coins, the design on the obverse side, the side with Roosevelt's portrait, appears twice, one set of impressions slightly offset from the other. This gives the coin a doubled, blurry look that can be quite striking. The error is small but noticeable, and for experienced collectors, it's a key feature that sets the coin apart from the regular dimes. If you look carefully, you'll notice that Roosevelt's features, the date, and even the text, Liberty, are all affected by this doubling effect. But what makes this error so fascinating, and so valuable, is that it's incredibly rare. While most 2008 dimes were struck correctly, only a handful were hit with this double die error. This gives these coins a much higher collector's value. So, what does that mean for the value of these rare 2008 dimes? In the world of coin collecting, errors like this can cause a coin to skyrocket in value, sometimes beyond anything you might expect. When it comes to error coins, rarity, condition, and demand are the key factors that determine how much a coin is worth. A 2008 dime with a double die error, especially in uncirculated or near mint condition, is incredibly sought after by numismatists. The condition of the coin is especially important. A well-preserved error coin, one that has been carefully stored, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear, can command a much higher price than one that's been circulated for years. Dimes in pristine condition are incredibly rare, and the value increases exponentially when it's an error coin. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, how much can a 2008 double die error dime actually be worth? Well, you might be shocked to hear that a 2008 United States dime with a double die error could be worth $27,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $27,000 for a single dime. It might sound unbelievable, but this error coin is one of the rarest finds in the world of modern U.S. coins, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for it. Of course, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. But if you happen to stumble upon one of these rare 2008 dimes in your pocket change or a coin roll, you could be holding onto a small fortune. So, the next time you're sorting through your spare change, don't overlook the dimes. The 2008 double die error dime is just one example of how a small mistake in the minting process can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, even the most seemingly mundane coins can hold immense value if they've got the right error or feature. If you have a 2008 dime in your collection, or if you think you might have one of these rare error coins hiding in your change jar, take a closer look. You might just be holding a valuable piece of history. Today, we're diving into a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but don't let its appearance fool you. We're talking about the 2005 United States 1 dime, a seemingly small and simple coin that holds a surprising secret. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed by just how valuable this dime could be. Let's start by setting the stage. The 2005 US dime is part of the regular series of coins that were produced by the US Mint, and at first glance, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Just like any other dime, it features a portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, front, side. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, has been the face of the dime since 1946. On the reverse side, you'll find a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, the symbols of freedom, peace, and strength. It's simple, elegant, and has been the familiar design on the dime for decades. Produced in massive quantities, the 2005 dime is just one of the billions of coins minted each year. But here's where it gets interesting. While most of these dimes were released into circulation, a small subset of them carries an incredible story that could make them worth far more than their 10-cent face value. There's a rare and mysterious variation of the 2005 dime that has sparked the attention of collectors, and it's all because of a rare minting error. Now, here's where things get really intriguing. What sets the 2005 dime apart from the rest is a particular error that occurred during the minting process. Minting errors can happen when a coin is struck incorrectly, leading to variations that make certain coins far more valuable than others. For the 2005 dime, the error we're talking about is the double die error. So, what exactly is a double die error? Essentially, it's when the die used to stamp the coin is misaligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck twice, creating a doubled effect. This causes certain elements on the coin, like the inscriptions or the image of Roosevelt's face, to appear slightly offset, creating a blurry or double image look. For the untrained eye, it might look like an unusual version of the coin, but for coin collectors, this kind of error can be a real jackpot. In the case of the 2005 dime, the double die error most commonly affects the lettering around Roosevelt's portrait, particularly the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." The doubled effect can be faint or pronounced, but when you find one of these dimes, you'll notice that the text appears as if it's been struck twice, making it an obvious misprint. And as we all know, in the world of coin collecting, an error like this can make an ordinary coin extraordinarily valuable. Why is this double die error so significant? Well, as you might imagine, it's a rare occurrence. Most 2005 dimes were struck perfectly, with clean and crisp images. But just a small number of these dimes were affected by the double die error, making them highly desirable to collectors. These error coins stand out because of their unique design flaws, and collectors are always on the lookout for such rare variations. The more unusual the error, the more valuable the coin can become. The double die error isn't the only factor that affects a coin's value, though. Like any collectible, condition is everything. A coin that's been well preserved, free from scratches, stains, or discoloration, is always going to be worth more than a coin that's seen heavy circulation. The condition of the coin, coupled with the rarity of the minting error, is what drives up the price. Coins that have been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth significantly more than those that have been handled or used in daily transactions. So now, the question on everyone's mind: how much is a 2005 dime with a double die error worth? Well, hold on to your hats because the value might just surprise you. For a 2005 dime in pristine, uncirculated condition with a noticeable double die error, collectors have been known to pay $29,000, yes, you heard that right, $29,000 for a single dime. It's hard to believe that something as small as a 10-cent coin could be worth that much, but in the world of rare coin collecting, these types of errors can lead to incredible prices. Of course, the value can fluctuate depending on the severity of the error, the coin's condition, and the current market demand, but it's not uncommon for collectors to pay such an impressive amount for a pristine 2005 double die dime. Now, if you're thinking you might have one of these rare error coins in your change jar or collection, you'll want to take a closer look. It's not always easy to spot a double die error unless you know exactly what you're looking for. But with a good magnifying glass or loupe, you should be able to see the double images on the lettering around Roosevelt's portrait. If you do find one, make sure to handle it carefully, avoid touching the surface with your fingers, as oils and dirt can damage the coin. If you think you've found one, get it authenticated by a professional numismatist or grading service to determine its true value. So, next time you're going through your spare change, don't overlook those dimes. The 2005 double die error dime is a great example of how something as simple as a minting mistake can turn a seemingly ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the world of rare coin hunting is full of surprises, and who knows, you might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Today, we've got something exciting to talk about, the 2003 United States 1 dime. You might think it's just another dime, but trust me, this coin holds a secret that could make it worth far more than you'd expect. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much this seemingly ordinary dime could actually be worth. Let's dive right in. First, let's take a quick trip down memory lane to 2003. It was a year when America was facing both challenges and opportunities. While the world was entering the digital age, 2003 was also a year where everyday currency was continuing to flow through circulation as normal. The U.S. Mint produced billions of coins that year, including the 1 dime, which continued to feature Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse and the familiar reverse design of a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of freedom, peace, and strength. The 2003 dime, like the other dimes around it, was struck in copper-nickel-clad composition and was used in regular circulation. While the vast majority of these dimes were spent and passed through countless hands, some coins have something special about them. And that's what we're here to explore today, the rare gems that have survived and hold a hidden value, especially a select few 2003 dimes that are now worth far more than their original face value. So, what makes the 2003 dime stand out in the world of coin collecting? Well, just like with other coins throughout history, minting errors are where the magic happens. A minting error is when a coin is struck improperly, leading to a flaw that makes it unique and incredibly valuable to collectors. And for the 2003 dime, there's a specific minting error that makes it a hidden treasure, the double die error. But what exactly is a double die error? Simply put, it's when a coin is struck twice by the same die, causing the image to appear doubled. This can happen when the die isn't properly aligned during the minting process, leading to a shift in the design. The result? A coin with doubled features, sometimes even a blurry effect on the design, or in the case of the 2003 dime, doubled letters and numbers. For the 2003 dime, the most noticeable feature of the double die error appears on the lettering around Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait. Words like liberty, in God we trust, and the date 2003 can appear slightly offset or doubled, creating a fascinating visual effect. This doubling can also affect the fine details around Roosevelt's face or the olive branch on the reverse side. If you've ever come across a dime that looks a bit different, this could be why. So why does this error matter so much in terms of value? Well, let's talk about rarity. Minting errors are inherently rare. Most coins come out of the mint in perfect condition, without these types of mistakes. And when a coin with a minting error does make it into circulation, it's typically missed by the vast majority of the public because, well, people just don't tend to look that closely at their pocket change. But for collectors, these errors are highly sought after because they are unique and often in very limited supply. In fact, the double die error on the 2003 dime is particularly notable because the coins that exhibit it are so scarce. This makes the few that survive much more valuable in the eyes of serious collectors. If you're lucky enough to have one of these coins in pristine condition, you could be holding on to a valuable piece of history. Now, you may be wondering, how do you tell if you found a 2003 double die error dime in your own collection? The key is to carefully examine the coin. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe to closely inspect the details around Roosevelt's portrait and the lettering. Look for any signs of doubling. This could be subtle, with slight extra lines appearing around the letters or numbers, or it could be more pronounced, depending on the severity of the error. Condition plays a huge role in determining the value of a coin as well. A coin that has been well preserved, with sharp details and little to no wear, will obviously fetch a much higher price than a coin that has been scratched, discolored, or heavily circulated. This is why it's so important to handle your rare coins with care and store them properly to maintain their pristine quality. So, how much can you actually sell a 2003 double die error dime for? Well, brace yourself, this dime could be worth a staggering $33,000, yes, you heard that right, $33,000 for a single dime. This may seem unbelievable, but it's true. Coins with rare minting errors like the double die are highly prized by collectors, and in mint condition, they can command prices that far exceed their face value. This error dime is one of those special finds that can turn your collection into something much more valuable. Now, if you're hoping to find a 2003 double die error dime in your pocket change, it's important to know that these coins are exceedingly rare. While there are thousands of 2003 dimes in circulation, only a handful have the double die error. The chances of finding one in circulation are slim, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't keep an eye out. If you're a serious collector, it might be worth searching through coin rolls, visiting coin shops, or even checking out online auction sites where error coins are often sold. So, the next time you're sorting through your spare change or browsing through your coin collection, keep a sharp eye out for any 2003 dimes that might be a little different. The 2003 double die error dime is a prime example of how a small mistake during the minting process can lead to a coin that's worth far more than its original face value. And if you're lucky enough to find one in excellent condition, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Today, we have an exciting topic to explore: the 2020 United States 1 dime. While you might think of it as just another regular dime, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Stick with us until the end because you're about to find out just how much this 2020 dime could actually be worth, and it might surprise you. Let's first take a moment to look at the basics. The 2020 dime, like the other dimes that came before it, features the iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt has been on the dime since 1946, and his image has become one of the most enduring symbols of American coinage. On the reverse side, you'll find a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, representing freedom, peace, and strength, designs that have been featured on the dime since 1946 as well. In 2020, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these dimes as part of regular circulation, and like all coins, they were widely used for everyday transactions. But while most of these 2020 dimes made their way through cash registers and pocket change, there's a small and rare group of them that has caught the attention of collectors, and their value is far more than you might expect. And that's exactly what we're about to explore today. So, what makes the 2020 dime so special? Well, it's not the design itself, after all, it's the same as other years, but the condition and rarity of certain examples that make them valuable. While the majority of these coins are worth just 10 cents, there are some extremely rare and highly sought-after versions of the 2020 dime that could potentially fetch thousands of dollars. But what are these rare dimes? The answer lies in the concept of minting errors. Minting errors are mistakes that occurred during the production of coins. These errors can make a coin unique and increase its value among collectors. And when we're talking about the 2020 dime, there's one error that's been drawing attention: The clad layer error. The clad layer error on the 2020 dime is a mistake that occurs when the layers of metal used to make the coin do not bond properly during the minting process. Normally, a dime is composed of a copper core surrounded by 2 layers of nickel. However, in some rare cases, these layers may not be properly bonded, leading to a situation where the coin has an incomplete or misaligned layer of metal. This gives the dime an unusual appearance, sometimes with parts of the coin appearing to be thinner or uneven in color. The clad layer error is particularly sought after by collectors because it is a rare and difficult to find defect. While most coins are struck perfectly, a small number of the 2020 dimes slip through the mint with this error. When collectors spot these, they get very excited, because an error like this means they could be holding onto something far more valuable than the typical dime. Another significant error to look out for in the 2020 dime is the broadstrike error. This happens when a coin is struck outside of the collar die, which is the part of the minting press that helps shape the coin. When a coin is struck without the collar, the design is pushed beyond the usual size, causing the coin to appear larger than normal. You might also notice that the details on the coin become blurred, and the lettering might spread out around the edges. The 2020 broadstrike dimes are unique and rare, and they can be highly valuable in the right condition. Mint errors, like the clad layer and broadstrike errors, are important to collectors because they represent an anomaly, a mistake that doesn't belong in regular circulation. These errors can only happen under specific conditions in the minting process, making them incredibly rare. What makes them even more valuable is the fact that not many of these error coins survive in good condition. Most of the time, when errors occur, the coins are caught and removed from the production line, never making it into general circulation. So, if a coin with a minting error does make it to your hands, you could be holding onto a rare and valuable piece of history. Now for the big reveal: how much is the 2020 dime worth, and how much could you expect to get if you find one with a significant error? Well, if you happen to stumble across a 2020 dime with a clad layer error or a broadstrike error in great condition, you could be looking at a value of $3,000, yes, you heard that right, $3,000 for a single 2020 dime. This might sound unbelievable, but in the world of rare coins, minting errors like these can dramatically increase the value of a coin. The rarity of these dimes, combined with the high demand among collectors for error coins, can push the value to new heights, making something as small as a dime worth thousands of dollars. Now, the question is, how can you find one of these valuable 2020 error dimes? Well, it's not easy. Mint errors are rare to begin with, and finding one in circulation is a challenge. However, it's not impossible. If you're serious about looking for rare coins, you might want to try checking through coin rolls from your local bank, visiting coin shops, or looking through online marketplaces where error coins are sold. If you think you found a 2020 dime with a potential error, be sure to carefully inspect it for any signs of a minting mistake. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to examine the details and look for anything that doesn't look quite right. And of course, always handle your coins carefully. Don't let your fingers leave oils or marks on the surface. So there you have it, the 2020 dime, a coin that at first glance might seem like just another regular dime, but with a closer look, it could be worth a lot more than you'd expect. Whether it's a clad layer error or a broadstrike error, these rare mistakes can make the 2020 dime an incredibly valuable coin for collectors. If you've got one of these error dimes lying around in your collection, or if you think you've spotted one in your spare change, take a closer look. You could be holding onto a piece of history that's worth thousands. Today, we're diving into a special find from the past, the 1974 United States 1 dime. You might be thinking, it's just another dime, but wait until you hear the incredible story behind this particular coin. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to be looking at your spare change in a whole new way. Let's start by giving a little background on the 1974 dime. It's a part of the regular issue of dimes produced by the U.S. Mint, with Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse, front side. Roosevelt has been the face of the dime since 1946, and his image has become one of the most iconic in American coinage. On the reverse side, you'll find the familiar design of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, which symbolize freedom, peace, and strength. In 1974, the United States was in the middle of a decade marked by economic challenges, inflation, and political changes. The coin itself is composed of a copper-nickel clad, a standard composition for dimes at the time. While millions of these dimes were produced that year, many of them were circulated, used in everyday transactions, and spent through the decades. But, just like with other coins, some 1974 dimes are far rarer and more valuable than you might think. And today, we're going to reveal what makes this coin special and why certain versions are worth a small fortune. So, what makes the 1974 dime so interesting? Well, it's not the design itself, it's a very common design that's been in use since 1946. Instead, the value of the 1974 dime lies in a minting error that occurred during production, which has made certain examples of this coin extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The key to the 1974 dime's value is a die crack error. What does that mean, exactly? In the minting process, coins are struck using engraved metal dies. These dies create the design on the coin as the blank metal planchet is pressed between them. Over time, these dies can become worn or damaged, leading to what are known as die cracks. When a die crack occurs, it creates a small break or fracture in the die, and this crack will show up as a line or mark on the coin struck with that damaged die. In the case of the 1974 dime, some of the coins produced that year bear a distinctive die crack that runs across Roosevelt's face or through the lettering around the coin. This is what makes certain 1974 dimes unique. They're not perfect, they have an error, and that makes them more desirable to collectors. The die crack error isn't something you'll find on every 1974 dime. It's rare, and it only occurred on coins struck with a specific die that had started to show signs of wear and tear. That means there are only a limited number of 1974 dimes that feature this die crack, making them highly valuable. Another error that collectors are on the lookout for in the 1974 dime is the off-center strike. An off-center strike occurs when the blank metal planchet, the piece of metal that will eventually become the coin, is not properly aligned with the minting die during the striking process. As a result, the design is only partially struck on the coin, causing part of the coin to be blank or missing parts of the image. For the 1974 dime, an off-center strike can leave the coin looking uneven, with parts of Roosevelt's face, the date, or the reverse design missing. This kind of error is prized by collectors because it's so visually distinct, and the more pronounced the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. Collectors absolutely love minting errors because they represent something rare and unique. A perfect, flawless coin may be valuable, but a coin with an error is something that doesn't belong in regular circulation, and that's exactly why collectors are willing to pay big money for them. Minting errors, especially those that affect key design elements, can increase a coin's value exponentially. For the 1974 dime, the die crack and off-center strike errors are incredibly sought after. Coins that feature these errors and are in mint condition, meaning they haven't been worn down from years of circulation, are especially valuable. The rarity of these coins, combined with the fact that they're tied to the history of the U.S. Mint's production processes, makes them highly collectible. Now, let's get to the most exciting part of the video, the moment you've all been waiting for. If you're lucky enough to own a 1974 dime with one of these rare errors, especially in uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a price tag that will blow your mind. A 1974 dime with a die crack or off-center strike in excellent condition could be worth as much as $53,000. Yes, you heard that right, $53,000 for a single dime. That's a whole lot more than 10 cents. Of course, not every 1974 dime will fetch this amount, but coins with these rare minting errors, especially in top condition, have been known to sell for astounding prices at auction or in private sales. So, how do you go about finding one of these valuable 1974 dimes? Well, it's not easy, but it's not impossible either. Your best bet is to start by looking through rolls of coins from 1974, which you can often find at your local bank. You can also check through older coins in coin shops or online marketplaces. If you think you found a 1974 dime with a die crack or off-center strike, be sure to take a closer look under magnification. Look for visible cracks in the design, especially around Roosevelt's portrait or the lettering, or check to see if the design appears off-center. If you spot something unusual, hold on to it. This coin could be your golden ticket, so, the next time you come across a 1974 dime, make sure to take a close look. What might seem like just a regular coin could actually be a rare treasure waiting to be discovered. With minting errors like the die crack and off-center strike, the 1974 dime could be worth far more than its 10-cent face value. If you're lucky enough to find one in great condition, you might just have a coin worth thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the incredible value of rare coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. Until next time, happy collecting, and remember, the smallest coins can sometimes hold the biggest surprises.